Okay, this is a test of Simi Valley Pickleball Podcast. This is our introduction. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Flo Trapani.
Hi, I'm Todd Johnson.
I'm a 4-0.
Hey. You know, we're prepared. No help to you. Okay. For some reason, I've been thinking about the history in Simi. Now, I talked to Stan Carlson. If you've ever played indoors, you know him.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. He introduced pickleball to Simi, and I'm planning on doing an interview with him, and we'll put it out here on the internet. And, you know, like I think about the first people I played, like Grumpy Bruce. and who else was there? There was Gary Cedar. He was short hopping every shot, and I'd never seen anybody do that, and I was fascinated. I remember Dan Cordova because he had the wrist flick that I had never seen before. And I think about, you know, the Monroes coming out and Brad, Drew, and I hooked up with him and we played many tournaments together. Went from 4-0 to 4-5 together and to 4-5 to 5-0 together.
I'm the one that got Brad Drew to get involved with the players. He was just playing singles when I first met him. So I got him involved.
And Flo was playing before I did. You were playing with Gary Cedar and Lee Scirocco, Lee and Joe.
I wouldn't say I was really playing, but
you and Kenny were out there hitting the singles.
Yeah.
So you were playing before I was. So that's enough about the history till we see Stan Carlson's face. Flo was talking about nicknames.
You see me peeps, you know your nicknames for the most part. Actually, I think there's some nicknames that aren't said in front of some people. I'm sure I have a nickname or nicknames that people don't say in front of me.
No.
You
maybe,
never know.
but
you never know. So
you're the only Flo around. People don't have to describe you.
Yeah, maybe so. So we have Grumpy Dan. And I don't want to say who Grumpy Dan is, but Todd is willing to throw him under the bus. But I don't really think he's that grumpy.
He's not grumpy.
I actually really like him.
He just doesn't smile when you greet him. But otherwise, he's great.
Malibu Jerry, come on. You know, he lives in a beautiful home in Malibu, so he's Malibu Jerry.
We love Jerry.
Love Jerry. Jerry. He's such a good player. Professor. Todd is known as Professor.
Occasionally.
And I believe Dave Murata gave him that name. Lefty Brian. He's left-handed. And I'm going to say I love and adore that kid. He's a kid. He's a kid to me. Him and his wife, Christina, I love them.
And he's a bit of a ginger, too. So
yeah. And I beat him all the time. Not all the time. Kathy Two Name.
Brian talked to me yesterday. I played against him the other day, and he beat me. He and Andy beat George and I. And
George Carter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we beat him the first game. Kind of took it to him.
Yeah.
And then they beat us, and they were happy, and I'm going, great. Good job.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. He tries really hard.
Yeah, and they've both gotten better. I've gotten worse.
Two Name. Our friend Kathy Two Name. We used to call her by both names, but now it's just Kathy Two Name. Cute Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
Kyle's so good looking.
He's so cute.
I would do you, Kyle.
I gave Kyle that name. Let's see. Mayor Ray, Ray De La Cruz, so welcoming to everybody.
I've never heard him called Mayor Ray.
I have.
Okay, never mind.
You weren't here in the very beginning. It was Mayor Ray. Pineapple Princess, that's Amanda O.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Beautiful.
Legs.
Great name for
her. We call
her.
her Legs.
And then there's Bubba. Now, Bubba doesn't live in Simi, but Bubba has played in Simi because Todd said, we have to make this specific to Simi Valley players. Well, because they're not going to know who these other players are. But Bubba, a.k.a. Julie, I was in a tournament in Paso Robles. My partner needed to cancel, so I had a blind date, and they told me, you're playing with Bubba. I forget her last name. I'm like, Bubba?
We're thinking large German girl.
Yeah. So I'm looking for a girl that looks like a Bubba, and here comes walking out this beautiful blonde, beautiful face, beautiful body. Does not look like a Bubba, but played like a Bubba. And we got a silver.
And we're good friends with her
and Alan. We love him to pieces. Paso Robles?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Massage Steve. Now, Massage Steve hasn't been around a lot, and I just recently saw him at Ventu. And I'm like, hey, Massage Steve. He goes, oh, you can't call me Massage Steve anymore. I'm like, why? My wife won't let me give massages because I only give massages to women, and my wife doesn't want me around the women anymore. I was like, okay. And I knew he was like an Uber driver too. So I'm like, how about Uber driver, Steve? And he's like, no, I don't really like that either. So I'm like, okay, figure out another
There's too many
nickname.
Steves. You got to have some sort of nickname. You don't really get to pick your own nickname. So,
well, the new Steve that came out to the courts, Slammin' Steve. I'm not sure if that's what we're giving
Toluca
him now.
Lake Steve?
Or he doesn't like Toluca Lake
well,
Steve.
he doesn't get to like it.
Well, I like people to like their nicknames. I do.
It just won't stick then.
No, I think it's sticking because I think we're just calling him Just Steve.
Just
Steve. Just Steve.
Okay.
Something like that. And then there's Susie Lauber. Susie Lauber from years ago. You know, again, not really knowing pickleball and understanding it. I couldn't believe this lady kept just lobbing me. And I'm like, that's no fun. And her real name's Susie Locker. So I thought, I'm going to call you Susie Lauber. And it's a term of endearment, of course. So I miss you, Susie. I know you're out in Camarillo. Don't get to see you much. Hope to see you when I get back. Hope to see you. And let's see. What other nickname?
Bob.
Bob? No, I'm not saying that.
You're not saying?
Bob did not like his nickname, which, by the way...
Wait.
I did not give him that.
Let's see. Who else? You didn't talk about Rain Man.
I don't really like that name.
I know.
So, Rain Man is kind of... I don't like that name, but if he doesn't mind it, I guess that's fine.
Well, we're talking about Jerry Keller. He's got another name.
Tall Jerry.
Tall
He's
Jerry.
Tall Jerry.
Well,
Backhand John, because he's got a great backhand.
Backhand Steve.
Nope. John doesn't want Steve to be called Backhand Steve because no. Sorry.
Yeah. No, we're going to have a vote on this.
No.
Can you choose your own nickname?
You just said
no.
a minute ago. You just said. Oh, so
you can't choose your own nickname.
No, but John, I'm with you. You're Backhand John. You're the original. We don't have to give your name to somebody else. I'm totally with you, John.
Okay, well, send me a text
and Backhand John
or an email at.
Wait, I want to finish my story. Backhand John can also be called Backgate John, because one time Backhand John and I had a little argument on the court, which happens sometimes.
Backgate?
Yeah, because the back gate going out of the pickleball courts.
Oh.
However this worked, I was walking out, he was walking out, we were mad. He pushed the gate, but didn't realize the gate. I don't think he realized the gate went like it hit me, and he was so apologetic. And then I think we became even better friends after that. But so backhand, backgate, whatever. Mostly backhand.
Well, we also called him Backhandsy for a little while.
Oh yeah, because he's kind of handsy, and I have a video to prove it. If you guys know me at all, I could have documents for years, for probably 50 years. I have boxes of different things, papers, videos, calendars, and I have a video of Backhandsy being a little backhandsy on my birthday. And
then there's Positive Mark.
Oh, I love Positive Mark from Ventura. He doesn't really play in Simi much.
No, he's a really high-level player now.
Yeah.
He's very
great
good.
player, but Positive Mark, I think Todd
very
gave him
friendly. Oh,
really friendly. And he has I think a teaching group, if that's what you call it, an instructor group with Beth and Kelly Mata. Beth's a great player, and Kelly works so hard. Great player. Love her on a personal basis and as a pickleball player.
And Beth Morris, right?
And Beth Morris, great. I think she just did really well in some tournament.
Yeah, playing 5-0.
Yeah.
But Mark if you're a 3-5 and you ever get to play doubles with him, he's going to say like, "Oh, that was an amazing shot.
Yeah.
You are so good." He just pumps you up no matter what you do. He's like, "I've never seen that before." Stuff like that.
He's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
Send us your nicknames or what you'd like to be called, because whatever you like to be called, I will call you that. Steve Dunn. That's really Steve Grossman. That's a whole long story, but we call him Steve Dunn.
Yeah.
And
so if you have my number, you can text me anything you want to ask or put out there. If you want to email me, it's tjmorepark@yahoo.com. Name calling. What about name calling?
Okay, so I don't know about courts outside of Simi, but in Simi we've had some name calling. We've had almost people with their chest up against each other. And again, that's when people call me. And most people in Simi know that I am a retired police officer. But I'm 66 years old. I am not in the shape I was way back when, and I'm not as tough as I was. And sometimes I get in the middle of stuff and I have to be careful. But I've been, I had another problem with one of my really good friends, Stan, one time, and he and I were yelling at Lemon Park from like court 3 and court 4, and he's calling me a baby, I'm calling him a baby, he's calling me this, I'm calling him that. It's comical now.
In fact,
it's funny now, but
back in the day, there was a guy whose nickname was F.U. Steve. And you can guess as to why that happened.
I think that's still his nickname.
Yeah.
And he's a really nice guy too, but he got in an argument with one of my friend players. And so I have to say I named him that nickname.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying F you, but the whole word to my friend, the player that I was playing with, and just kept F you, F you.
There's a lot of Steves. There's Cheater Steve.
Oh God.
Who shall remain nameless, but
yeah.
That's another name.
Yeah. There's, Otto, when Otto is playing well at Lemon, before courts, he calls the number 1 court Beverly Hills, and he calls the lowest court Pacoima. I happened to be lucky enough to play Otto a couple days ago because that's when my back started hurting. So I went to Lemon to play, thinking that it might be a little bit easier. And Otto was playing on the Beverly Hills court, and I was telling him, Otto, you got to go back to Pacoima. I mean, come on, the score is 10-0 with my brother and I playing you and your partner. Go back to Pacoima, Otto.
And there's a couple Marylands. So anytime there's a common name and there's an ethnicity involved, you become Asian Maryland or Backhand Maryland, or, there's several Deans. Dino. So there's more nicknames coming up. Okay, back to name calling. The only time I ever called somebody a name was in jest to Stan. And, cause I knew he was a name caller. And so, I called him like a crybaby and he called me a pussy and I laughed. So it just doesn't occur to me.